Hey, today is Thursday. Are you ready for us? Hey, today is Thursday. Hey guys, welcome back to Mayi Mayhem. It's Jasmine.
And Tuesday.
And Rosie.
Make sure you subscribe to our channel.
Like this video and comment below. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload.
So this is a really exciting topic for us because we all executed beautiful events on a budget.
So let's jump into it.
Let's get into it.
First order of business when you're planning a wedding. The first thing to get out the way is the venue.
The venue.
And there's so many different ways you can do it.
Man.
So how did you do it? How'd you find your venue? What type of venue?
I was going online a lot and I found a lot of beautiful venues, and I would say I have really great taste, but all the ones that I really wanted cost way too much.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I don't want like an empty hall where I have to do a whole bunch of decorations. I need something that's like all inclusive. So that's when I went on a search for wedding chapels where they had, package deals. So that's when I found Ivy Wed.
And what would you say is a pro of Ivy Wed or the chapel? And what is a con?
The pro is that it was all inclusive.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The con was it was different details that I wanted in my wedding that I wasn't able to have, like the reception. Dinner was the sit down kind, and I wanted dancing and music and all of that, and I couldn't have that because it wasn't enough space. Yeah.
I was her maid of honor, and we did have that.
We did a little bit.
We did our best.
I wanted more though.
Yes, but we did. She did get a little shake our groove thing, just a little bit.
Yeah,
just a little bit. Okay. Any other cons?
That it was too small of a business, so the lady was like all over the place, and it kind of made me nervous being that it was my first time and never had done this before. So I needed her to be a little bit more organized. Yes.
You wouldn't say your guest list?
My guest list was easy. 20 people for me.
Yeah.
20
you wouldn't
people
say that's
for
a
him.
con?
Yeah, I mean,
would you have wanted more people?
Not really.
Okay.
Because so with more people brings more money, so it was perfect that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was my con for Jasmine's wedding because I wasn't invited.
I'm sorry.
She just had to
so
go there.
I'm glad that it's not her con, but it's my con because I wasn't there. But Mayi Mayhem sisters.
Yes.
Yes, so I had venue drama, because I wanted to do an Airbnb. I wanted to rent like an estate so that I could have everything there. Like I didn't want the pressure of having to pick different spaces for different events. So I wanted to do an Airbnb so that I could have my rehearsal dinner there. I could have the rehearsal there, I could have the wedding there and the reception, and then Tracy and I could stay there that night. Everybody else could go home and we could call it a night. Well, unfortunately, the way Airbnb is set up is that the minute you tell them it's more than 5 or 6 people coming, they tack on thousands of dollars, not hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. So every place that we ended up choosing, it was way outside of the budget just because when they think you're having a party, they tax you off top. So it's kind of like Jasmine's, where it was like everything that I really, really liked was way outside of the budget. What we ended up doing was, I was like, okay, since we can't do something that is out of the budget or that we like per se want to do, why don't we do something that's sentimental? So we ended up choosing a park that we have gone to throughout the 10 years of us being together, just to talk and have fun and have picnics and just have spend quality time. Like, that's our spot. So we picked that location, and we had said that before when we were dating a while ago, like, this is where we're going to get married. But they weren't really keeping the park up. We had went like a few times and the grass wasn't green and this and that. So I had exited totally out. So I was looking at all these other different spots. And then Tracy said, why don't we just go, to our spot and just sit and talk? And we went, and I'm like, the grass is green, the birds are chirping, like, voila. Thank you, God, for the sign. Like, this will work. We can do this. So we ended up having it there, and it was beautiful. It did cost a little something, but not nearly as much as some of the other places. But then when you do that, now you have to pick a venue for your reception, because it was at a park, and so they didn't want loud music, they didn't want a whole lot of stuff. So now we have to pick a spot for a reception, and we ended up doing a ballroom at a hotel.
So what would you say was the pro for the park?
The pro was the cost. The pro was how beautiful it was, and it was very sentimental. Like, it was everything I could have ever wanted, and everything just lined up. Everything just happened for us to exit the wedding and walk right up to a big waterfall where we can take our pictures. Like, everything just went the way it was supposed to go. So that was definitely a pro. Cons, I didn't like the fact that everyone had to pay for parking. So at the park on Saturdays and Sundays, it's $6 to park. I would have loved to host that. However, that was outside of our budget.
I was Tuesday's bridesmaid. So I'll jump in and say, people watching the ceremony,
yes,
that were not invited.
Yes.
That was a con.
And we
had to go nuck and buck on these people too.
No, and we did pay so that they would block everything, block off the whole entire area. And they were supposed to have someone there to enforce that, but there were so many entrances to the space that there ended up being people that were like, I'm
on the rocks.
Yeah, like, people are just.
Well, they probably didn't bother you, but I know I looked over like.
Well, I looked over. I definitely looked over because my sister went to go ask them to move.
Oh, and Uncle Gray.
Yeah, and so I'm like watching my sister's head like this, and I'm like, this is in the middle of my wedding, and I'm just like, oh, I know she's not getting smart with my sister. So it was a little distracting, but I mean, it wasn't.
In hindsight, you could have probably had some little cousins or something.
In hindsight, I would have, when I didn't see the enforcers out there, I would have definitely had somebody go tell the guy that we need people standing there. Yeah.
For my venue, we had it at a church. We were looking around at different venues, trying to figure out what was going to be cost effective, and happened to come across this church that was close, which is what I loved. I didn't really want my guests driving really far to get to the venue, so it was really close to home, and I was able to host everything in the location. So the ceremony was there, and so was the reception. I also had a bridal suite, so all of my ladies and I were getting dressed and getting taken care of and everything. And then the groom and his guys had their own separate place to get ready. So it was really nice. It was very functional for the type of event that we were having. We got a great deal. We were definitely blessed with this place. And it was great also too for photos. There were some cute little areas to take some nice pictures. So the chapel was good. The pro was everything was in one place. So we didn't have to drive to a different location for the second half of what happens at a wedding. The con, I would say, I think it being a church. Unfortunately, I think it kind of might have turned off some guests when it came to the reception portion, just because I dance, I like to dance, I like to party.
But you couldn't turn up the way you wanted to.
A church, and I think people didn't want to turn up. So even though I had orchestrated a dance for me and the bridal party to do, it didn't pop off the dancing portion like I wanted it to. Yeah. And I just think it was because it was a church. So no matter what kind of music, you get the profanity, you know, the clean versions for it. It didn't matter. It just didn't pop. So I won't be having my anniversary.
I was one of her bridesmaids.
Yes.
And that was the only con too. That's what I was gonna say. Was just that
pop off part.
Yeah, and then you don't want to play it too loud because out of respect, and then you want to make sure that it's the clean version.
They didn't. That was the thing. It was the clean versions, but they didn't care about the volume.
Oh, okay.
They said
he just didn't have all the clean versions.
No,
because it seemed like he turned it down.
Well, he was weird.
Oh, okay.
He was a con, all in it. We ain't acting.
But you just don't feel comfortable, like, really
I just
partying.
think people really didn't feel comfortable. Yeah. So that was a con. Our anniversary party will not be at a church.
So next, we're going to talk about the dress.
The dress.
Oh my goodness.
This is the second most important.
Yes.
My picking of the dress was so wonderful and sad at the same time.
Why?
Because Rosie knows she was there. It all just happened on the fly. She was like, there goes the David's bridal. Let's go look at dresses. And we started looking at dresses, and of course they get you to trying them on, and I fell in love with a dress. I picked the dress, and then I told my mom afterwards that I had found a dress that I liked. And she was sad that she couldn't be there. So she was very upset that she wasn't able to be there for me at that time. And I'm just like trying to explain to her, like, Mom, I didn't know I was going to pick the dress that I wanted to wear, but
and them David's bridal people,
they are on it. Like, I'm talking about good salesmen.
They're good everything.
Man,
like,
they put that dress on me.
They be getting you to get all the accessories.
Man, got me to crying, ringing the bell when you So I felt so bad that my mom didn't get to share that moment with me.
Was the dress cost effective? Did it take out a big part of the budget?
No, it did not at all, and that was a gift from my mom. Even though she wasn't able to be there, she still paid for the dress that she didn't get to.
That was not even included in the budget.
Yeah, okay. So it was not a part of my budget. Mommy paid for that.
Nice.
Okay, so you get the ring, right? You get engaged, and you're like, oh my gosh, we get to plan this wedding. Not in a million years do you even know how stressful the whole situation is going to be. Yeah, you're like, okay, so now I'm gonna get a dress, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go, and we're gonna have champagne, and everybody I know is gonna sit there, and we're gonna watch me try on a million dresses. Yes, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, well, that was not my story at all. My mom and I will say throughout the whole thing, my mom was like my ride or die. She literally took off work every day. I'm picking her up to go downtown to find stuff. So today was like all the other days, and we're going to all these shops, and all these dresses are in the thousands. All these dresses that you would think weren't nearly as much as they were totally out of the budget. At that time too, I thought it was coming out of my budget, so I was really not for the thousands of dollars dress. What I wanted to do was I wanted to rent my dream dress. I wanted to rent my dream dress and then send it back after, because I knew I would never wear it again. Well, I ended up going on different websites and trying to go that route, and I just wasn't finding anything that was to my liking. So we just happened to go in a store, and we're looking. Everything is just not really me. It's not what I want. And then she like goes behind something and she's like, oh, I think I might have something for you. And she goes around and grabs a dress and I try it on. And as soon as I tried it on, my mom was like, that's your dress. That's your dress. There were some specific things that I wanted in particular that were not on that dress. But my mom was like, that's your dress, and we'll get it altered. We'll get things added. And so my mom's like, okay, how much is that dress? She tells her, and my mom pulls out her card like, I got it, because it had to be God. I will say that, because it was an amazing price. It was something that you would not have even believed. And so then all I had to do was go get it altered. So I went and got the sleeves that I wanted. I went and got it taken up in specific spots. And it became the dress that I had been envisioning all those years.
So the pro is that it was well under budget.
Yes, well under budget, and it was beautiful.
And the con is now you have to try to sell it.
The con is that, you know, it's taking up a lot of space. And I know that there are traditions where you say, oh, well, my daughter is not wearing that dress. And if she wants something like it, we'll have it made. So right now I just need it out of my closet, and I'm actually going to insert do you guys have pictures in your dresses, right? Okay, because we can insert them. Yes. So it will be on eBay and you ladies can check it out.
I put mine in a preservation kit. That was a pro that came with my dress.
Yeah. And they clean it and everything.
Yeah.
Put it in there and it doesn't take up space. My dress also came from David's Bridal. The pro of David's Bridal is you can get a good deal at David's Bridal. They have a lot of sales all the time. Everything is in one place. Undergarments, alterations, accessories, everything you want is there. So that was the pro. The con, I would say, is just the added cost. Like everything is up so to the highest there. Like a belt is then an additional a couple of hundreds. Like, so that was the con. But other than that, David's Bridal is the go-to. Definitely check out David's Bridal. If you are in LA, always go downtown.
Always go downtown. I was going to add that when you're downtown, stuff like a belt, all of that stuff are things like they have all of these shops and they're very competitive and they have all these seamstresses and they have all these people like I was saying, the people who altered my dress, they created the straps that I wanted, and it wasn't $1 million. Like I think all of my alterations were under $200, and I got a lot of stuff done. So, and all I had to do was go get, they have all these fabric shops downtown LA. So you go get the fabric and they'll cut it for you, sew it on you. And so always go downtown first. And then you can work your way to all the other places.
But if you're a person like me that just needs everything right in one store because you don't have patience for going there. David's Bridal.
And I love David's Bridal. One of the good things about it, and I know we're not talking about bridesmaids, but I got my bridesmaids dresses from David's Bridal.
I got everything from there.
I love them because I had a bunch of bridesmaids that were in other places. David's Bridal is everywhere. So they were literally I was able to send them the dress and they were able to go into their local David's Bridal, try it on, make sure that it fits to their liking, and they were able to bring their dresses with them to the wedding. So I really appreciated that. David's Bridal is like hassle free. So they were, and they'll assist with, putting it on in different ways to tie it and stuff. So I was very pleased with the service that I got at David's Bridal. Catering. Food.
Yes.
Don't you hate going to events with bad food?
Of the budget.
Oh,
that's the
biggest
most costly.
Yeah, the biggest part.
It's the most costly.
The biggest part. My venue was free. They charge per plate. And that is what broke the budget. Dun, dun, dun. The food.
Okay.
I hosted the reception at the Courtyard Marriott. It was a local hotel, and in one of their ballrooms. It was beautiful, and I was happy because the food came included. Anything other than chicken costs more. So chicken is probably your go-to. That is the cheapest thing that you can get on the menu. So because we were trying to stay within a budget, we chose chicken. The chicken was good, but we wanted it to be more well done. And we asked them to do that, and when wedding day came, it was not. We had salmon,
good,
but yeah, I think we had two options.
What'd you eat?
Chicken.
Okay, from what I heard, the chicken was not good, so they did not listen to us when we said we wanted it.
It's hotel chicken, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So yeah,
that is a thing. Hotel chicken. You know
Hotel
what hotel
chicken.
chicken is?
Yeah.
Comment below.
yeah,
It was
so
hotel chicken.
The pro was that we were able to not have to worry about catering because it came with everything.
Yeah.
But the con was that it was not good food.
Now,
I don't think it was. I don't know.
Okay.
But from what I heard, it wasn't.
The sides were bomb.
The sides, yeah. But I mean the meat.
The meat. And
Yeah.
then did that offer you a discount with the room because you hosted the reception there?
Yes.
So that's another pro.
Yeah, that was another pro. They did host. For the amount of money that we paid though, I would have thought we would have gotten a complimentary room. We did not get a complimentary room, but we did get like complimentary breakfast the next day. We got it was like a just married package where they gave us like a bottle of champagne and certain things
nice.
in the room.
That's
Yeah, a couple of chocolate covered strawberries. So that was nice. But yeah, that was a pro. But I just would have wanted.
Con was the hotel chicken.
The hotel chicken because everybody knows that when you come to one of my events, you're gonna eat good food. Everybody knows that. My family throws down.
I definitely can vouch for that.
Yeah, so everybody knows you come to my house for any event, you're going to have good food. So I just wanted the food to be good. And I did hear that the sides were good. I didn't want hotel chicken. That's it.
But they talking about their hotel chicken. Now let me tell y'all that I was not even able to go to the taste testing for my wedding. So my husband and my grandparents, my nana and my papa, rest in peace. They
rest in peace, Papa.
Yeah, rest in peace, Papa.
Hey, Nana.
Attended the food tasting and they said that everything was pretty good. So I'm like, okay, cool. And we got more than one option, so you got to pick what you wanted to eat. And they even have vegan and vegetarian options for my father-in-law. When I got my plate, I was so upset. That food was disgusting. It tastes like hospital food. The temperature was off. I was
sure it wasn't just you. Everybody said that.
I'm speaking for myself.
Oh, because
it was my wedding, and I was not happy.
But people were eating. I remember people eating. I think Jasmine might be a little particular.
Yeah, I am. Shoot, it was my wedding, and I like to eat. But it was nasty. I'm sorry. I was not happy, but the pro is that it was all inclusive.
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't an extra expense.
It wasn't at all.
That's a huge pro.
That's a big pro.
Because food costs the most.
And they had appetizers and
beverages.
Yes. So that was great, but
the con was the taste.
I'm like, who told y'all this was good? Like, the pasta was dry. Like, where was the...
Okay.
Nah.
Okay, so PSA, go to your taste tester so that you can.
Be in
The
control.
bride needs to go to the taste tester because the
Control.
husbands, no, you know, men are like, yeah, this is good, you know, whatever.
Not particular.
Yeah, women.
Especially if you're a picky eater.
But I'm not a picky eater.
So catering, a tip, have it as a gift from one of your family members. That's what we were able to do. So it didn't cost us anything. That's the biggest pro because, again, the catering is the biggest cost when it comes to this type of event. Mm-hmm. So that was the pro. It was a gift from family. The con was that we didn't have servers. So
you had to do it like, what is
it? It was buffet style.
Yeah.
I think it's buffet style. Mm-hmm. But I also had to get people who would, or I had to ask people to serve my guests. And that was the only con. Thankfully, though, we had willing participants. Shout out to all of them who were able to
had servers?
Help. Mm-hmm. People that were giving you the food on the plate. Not people bringing you the plate.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The only con was I didn't have servers, like bringing plates to tables. So it was like,
but the food
style.
Was good. I remember. Well, I don't remember what I ate, but I remember I didn't say it was nasty. So it
was good.
You had some string beans.
That
was good. I remember them string beans.
That was good.
Yeah. I would say
it was a complete meal.
Yeah, but that is the only.
Wait, whose idea was it to have? Did you have Kool-Aid?
I don't know.
I think you did. It was some kind of blue and red punch or something. I think
Kool-Aid is good. Yeah. I will say that is the only con is that we were in these in our formal wear and we were having to walk and get our food.
Buffet style,
yeah. So that was it. But everything else.
That's the only con, like when it is a gift from family in particular, not like a catering company or, family that owns a company. When it's literally just family doing it, then you gotta outsource some help or you gotta do it buffet style. So that was the only con. So you have a makeup artist, you have a photographer, videographer, and decorator.
Well, one thing for sure is that take suggestions and recommendations. So I found my photographer because one of the girls that was in my wedding was just in another wedding, and she said, hey, it's a husband-wife duo, it's a Black-owned business, they're really good and this and that. So she sent me their Instagram handle. I checked them out, I inquired about it, and I went with it. With everything that you're dealing with, you want to make sure that you have a good photographer. You really do, because those are the memories, that you can look back on and it lasts. I would say, take suggestions and take recommendations from credible people that you do love and trust. You can always ask your bridesmaids. That's what they're here for. You can always ask them, hey, look out for a photographer. Or, hey, do you know a photographer? Please send them over. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to send you somebody that's perfect. Makeup artist. So my makeup artist was my cousin. My cousin Nina is an awesome makeup artist. So just like what she said about having a family member give it to you as a gift, you can also ask for things like that for gifts from your close friends or family. So I had 11 bridesmaids. Too many bridesmaids, but I love them all, and that's why all of them was in my wedding. And so that would have been impossible to have someone come and try to do all the girls and me. So I had my cousin do my makeup as well as half of the girls, and I had Ashley, who is an awesome makeup artist. But Ashley did our makeup at Rosie's wedding. And so I really liked the way she did my makeup. I trusted her fully and completely.
Vendors.
Yes, recycling vendors. I trusted her fully and completely because she beat my face for Rosie's wedding. And so she did half of the girls. And I will say that everyone looked beautifully.
What's the pro of having two? I guess that you're able to get all the people done.
Yeah, so the
Any
pro,
cons?
yeah, the pro of having two is that all the girls can get done at a, you know, at a good time. We did have a schedule, so each girl had a call time that they had to be there to get their makeup done. Luckily, all my girls were on time to get their stuff done. And the con,
no con, no.
There was no con. I was fully and completely happy with all of the makeup jobs, everything that was done. It went really smoothly. There were no hiccups. But you do want to tip them handsomely because they're working hard, and they
come to you.
They come to you, yeah, and they're there on time. Both of my makeup artists were there on time, and they slayed until it was time to go. And my cousin went and got dressed.
And that's hours.
And made it back for the wedding. So yeah. So decorations. My decorations were a gift from my sister. My sister is a very creative person. She always has parties at her house, and it's always very beautiful. And she was looking to kind of see if she wanted to get into that field. And so she offered to do my decorations for my wedding. And I was so thankful for it because decorations cost. They really do. And when you're trying to do this on a budget, it really helps for people to offer, to gift you certain things. So yeah, and everything was beautiful. She did the centerpieces at the reception, and she did all the decorations at the actual wedding.
It was inclusive, but you also had the option to have your own decorations, and it was cheaper for me to do my own decorations. And because I also like decorating at times when I have the patience, I decided to do my own. So I did my own decorations for the wedding.
Did them water candles, candle flowers. What are they?
I did. Yeah, I did floating candles with rocks.
And lilies.
And no, it wasn't lilies. It was a flower that I got you. Orchids. I did orchids. A photographer was included. Makeup artist. That was easy too because at the time we were doing Mary Kay. So I had a whole bunch of makeup artists around me. So that was taken care of by
one of our beauty consultants. Yep. Yeah, and she gave you a very good deal.
Yes.
Very good deal.
Did she take care of everybody?
I did my own.
Oh, okay.
And she took care of everyone else.
Okay.
Ashley was my makeup artist, and she is a very good friend of one of my maid of honors. So that's how I found her, and she offered a great rate. The decorators, like Tuesday, it was my mother-in-law's pleasure to decorate the entire event. So we were able to get that at no cost. She took care of everything. Yes, so that's what we did. We had fake flowers, and they were like paper
bouquets.
Paper bouquets. The con was my photographer and videographer.
That's the way to see it be like.
What is happening?
He was trash.
Wait, who was trash?
My photographer and videographer was trash. So, to Tuesday's point earlier, that you don't want to opt for a cheap or less expensive option. It was a referral from someone I knew, but not someone I knew long enough. So I should have did more research. So unfortunately, I don't have anything good to say about that.
And he was the DJ too, right?
He was everything.
Okay.
Exactly. I don't have any positive things to say about that. I'm definitely going to splurge the next event on a good photographer.
Well, you have a good photographer. Your baby shower photographer.
Yeah.
She was good.
Yeah. So you live and you learn.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can get decorations as a gift and
anything you can get as a gift that you can think
a
of,
good referral for these
do
other
it.
vendors,
Yeah,
that's going to be
do
the
it.
way to go.
DJs. Did you have a DJ, Jasmine?
I definitely didn't. Rosie was
Oh,
on the DJ.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't fitting.
Yeah.
Oh,
to have
okay.
Yeah.
I had, that's another vendor, is your DJ. I was
Fire.
so happy with my DJ.
Fire.
DJ Major League. But he is like around our age. He knew exactly. Literally, we had like a consult beforehand.
It was going up.
The same Tiara. Shout out to Tiara. She is the plug. But she is the same person that hooked me up with my videographer and photographer. And she told me about a DJ that had DJ'd a wedding that she was at, and we had a consult before. He was like, "How old are you? What kind of music?" Okay, I know what to play. And when I tell you, he was so good. My reception was lit. It was lit.
Yeah.
Things like that you can splurge on. I mean, because anybody that's worth having is not going to charge nothing.
Yes.
And you just have to think about it like that.
Yes.
So you just have to make room in your budget for what you can get. Yeah, for that part. Definitely your photographer and definitely your DJ. You want to make sure that there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yeah, that is the end of the list. We hope that you guys...
Ooh, I hope y'all grab some snacks, because
yes.
I can't wait to eat some. This was a long one.
Yes, this was a long video, but hopefully it was beneficial.
Yeah.
We are all about budgeting, and we're all about coming up with the best ways to get things done at a low cost. However, there are certain things that we discussed that we do think that you should not worry about money on. And one of the things is hair. One of the things is makeup. What do we say? DJ, photographer, and whoever's your nails. Because this is your wedding and you need to look as beautiful as you want. So you can splurge on yourself.
But the best way to cut costs on those things is just ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For a gift.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because there are people that are willing. You know, there are people that are willing.
And you prayerfully only do it once. So do it how you want to do it. And make sure that you're happy with everything.
So,
thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to our channel.
Like this video.
And comment below.
And don't forget to hit that notification bell. We'll see you next time.